Good day, class! In our previous videos, I have discussed to you text information and visual information. Today, I'm going to discuss to you audio information and multimedia. Since we're talking about audio information, let us now define audio. What is audio? Audio is the audible part of transmitted signal that is a recording or reproduction of acoustic signal, or simply saying sound. Audio is a sound, especially when recorded, transmitted, or reproduced. What is an audio media? It is a media communication that uses audio or recordings to deliver and transfer information through the means of sound. The perfect example of an audio media is our radio or television. Let us now talk about the advantages of audio media. First is, it is inexpensive because you just need to have a radio. Next is, it is resistant to damage. It is ready and easy to be used. It is also reproductive and can provide message to non-readers because you're just going to listen to it. But there are certain limitations to audio information and media. First, it follows a fixed sequence. For example, in a radio station, there is a specific time for a radio program. And it does not monitor attention because there is no direct connection to the audience from the speaker. And there is a potential for accidental erasure. Now let us talk about the types of audio information. Upon knowing their advantages, first, types of audio information is radio broadcast. The next one is music. Third is the sound recording. Also, we have sound clips or sound effects, and also the audio podcast. Now let us talk about the radio broadcast. When we say radio broadcast, it's a live or recorded audio sent through radio waves to reach a wide audience. But nowadays, radio broadcast can be through or by the means of an internet. Okay, the next one is music. When we talk about music, it refers to the vocal or instrumental sounds combined in such a way as to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion. Music, when you transmit it, it is through sounds. It can be an MP3, right? Or any other format. Next, we have the sound recording. Sound recording refers to the recording of an interview, meeting, or any sound from the environment. And also we have sound clips or sound effects. Any sound artificially reproduced to create an effect in a dramatic presentation. Example, sound of storm or a door. Okay, so in every film, in every movie, in every output, they are using sound effects. Next, this one is the very new in the industry of audio information, which is the audio podcast. This refers to the digital audio or video file or recording, usually part of a theme series that can be downloaded from a website to a media player or a computer. Streaming or downloading of audio files recorded and stored on distant servers. Nowadays, this is the trend, podcasting. It is a process of talking with other person, or you're the only one talking and you are dealing with a specific theme, and mostly podcast is done in series. Okay, upon learning those types of audio information, now let us proceed with the ways to store our audio information. For example, we are done recording our audio information, our audio file. Now, how do we store our audio information? First, we have through tape or the cassette. We also have CD or the compact disc. It is divided into two, the VCD and DVD. Also, we have the USB drive, the memory card, the computer hard drive, and the internet or the cloud storage. Now, let's deal first with the tape. This one is the very first storage of audio file, the tape or the cassette tape. It is a magnetic tape on which sound can be recorded. You play it before in a radio cassette. Okay. Next is the compact disc. After the tape, compact disc is being invented and being introduced to save audio files, specifically MP3 or MP4 for a video format as well with audio. Okay, compact disc is a plastic fabricated. It is circular, medium for recording, storing, and playing back audio, video, and computer data. If you want to use a compact disc, you need to have a DVD or a VCD player. Next, we have the USB drive. So this one refers to an external flash drive, small enough to carry on a key ring that can be used with any computer that has a USB port. The good thing with USB flash drive is you can store a lot of memory there because it is composed of 250 gigabytes. Comparing to the compact disc and the tape, you can just store their minimal amount of audio file. Now the next one is memory card or the storage card. It is a small storage medium used to store data such as text, pictures, audio, and video for use on small, portable, or remote computing devices. Usually, we use the memory card in our cell phones so that we can store not only the audio file but also video file and any other type of applications and softwares. Next, we have the computer hard drive. This is the secondary storage device for storing an audio file. This has a larger capacity for your storage because it composed of terabytes or more. Then lastly, the very novel, the very new one is the internet or the cloud storage. This refers to the websites or file repositories for retrieving audio files, and more precisely, the files are stored in some data center full of servers that is connected to the internet. And this one, this is very different from all other type of storage because it does not have a tangible representative. Meaning to say, you can store your file virtually. Next is the audio file format. Since we're talking about audio information, we can have different ways of storing our or making our audio file. So the very famous file format for audio is MP3 or MPEG Audio Layer 3. This is the common format for consumer audio as well as the standard of digital audio compression for the transfer and playback of music on most digital audio players. Most of the digital recordings, the audio, even its music, it is being stored in the file format of MP3 or MPEG Audio Layer 3. Next one is the M4A or AAC or MPEG-4 audio or Advanced Audio Coding. This one is an audio coding standard for glossy digital audio compression. It is designed to be the successor of the MP3 format. AAC generally achieves better sound quality than MP3 at similar bit rate. But up until now, we are not yet that capable enough of using, and we're not used to using M4A. We are still in the era of the usage of MP3. Next is the WAV, or waveform audio file format. This is a Microsoft audio file format standard for storing an audio bit stream on PCs. It has become a standard file format for game sounds, among others. So if you're going to listen to game sounds, the file format is not in MP3 but in WAV. Next is WMA, or Windows Media Audio. It is an audio data compression technology developed by Microsoft and used with Windows Media Player. So those are the types of audio file format. Now moving on, let us proceed with the units and characteristics of sounds. First, we have the unit of sounds. The first unit is decibel, or dB. This refers to the noise of sound measurement. So the noise can be measured through decibel. The next one is hertz, with Hz. This refers to the unit of sound frequency. Most probably, we are hearing hertz whenever we are using our radio machine or our radio. Next is the PHON, or PHON. This is the unit of subjective loudness. Now let us proceed with the characteristics of sound. First, we have volume. It deals with the intensity of a sound. Next is we have the tone. Tone deals with the audible characteristic of a sound. Next is the pitch. Deals with how high or low a sound is. And the last is the loudness. This refers to the magnitude of the sound being heard. Now let us proceed with the elements and principles of sound design. Elements of sound design. First, we have the dialogue. Dialogue refers to the speech conversation or the speech over. This refers to the person talking. That's why it is a dialogue. Next, we have the sound effects. It refers to any sound other than music or dialogue. This one can be a representation of an original sound. For example, a representation of the sound of a knocking door, that can be through the sound effect. Next, we have the music. It refers to the vocal or instrumental sound, or both, combined in such a way as to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion. Under music is the background, or the musical background. Now let us proceed with the principles of sound design. First is mixing. Mixing has something to do with combining multiple sound elements. Mostly DJs are the ones doing mixing. They are combining two different sound elements. It can be the element of an instrument through a vocal sound, or an instrument to another instrument. Next, we have the pace. This refers to the time control, editing order of events, or the linear or non-linear or multilinear. Pace deals with the succession. It deals with how fast the music will be. Next, we have the stereo imaging. This refers to the using of left and right channel for depth. This refers to the aspect of sound recording and reproduction. If you can imagine a particular sound wherein there will be a much loud part on the right than the left, this refers to the stereo imaging. And there are some sound recording wherein you cannot hear anything from the right stereo and you can hear only something from the left stereo. Okay, next is the transition. Transition refers to how you get from one segment of element to another. How you move from one element to another element. For example, in an instrument, from instrumental element to the musical instrument through the voiced element of a music. Next, we have hearing. This is the act of perceiving sound by the ear. And the very difference of hearing to listening is that when you just hear, you are not thinking. You are not analyzing what you are hearing. But when you say that you are listening, this requires concentration so that your brain process. Okay? So the very difference is when you hear something, and you just absorb. You just absorb the information that you gather. But when you listen to something, you absorb and analyze the information that you have gathered. So hearing versus listening. And that's all for audio information and multimedia. Thank you very much for